It is not about like only giving their everything towards country. -30, -40, 2 to 3 months in a row. It's a very challenging job. Himalayan leopard, which is present in Ladakh only. After having food, we Indians always give tips. But in Iceland, tipping is not looked at very glorified manner. When we ordered that, it's actually fish, but it is uncooked. That was a miserable experience. So even if you miss one deal, means your budget can shoot up by 10 to 15,000 rupees. Ziploc bags. So you can have at least 4 or 5 jackets in the same place.
Most overrated place?
Paris.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of JCL podcast Bindas Bowl Season 2, where we take you beyond the workstations into the life of people who make JioMart. Today we have a very special guest with us, Sourav.
Thank you for calling me in this show, and thanks JioMart for arranging this session.
So let's begin by knowing a bit about you and your current role in JioMart.
Okay, I have almost 16 years of experience in FMCG and retail, and I am with Reliance JioMart from last 3.5 years. And currently I'm handling a strategic role in QC, where I am taking care of the dark store launch and their readiness and around.
So not one, not five, but you have traveled more than 25 countries.
Yeah, exactly 25.
Yes.
So now I'm currently planning for 26th.
Great. So this is beyond Asia, Europe and other
Yes.
continents. So how it all started and when you realized that you are not just a tourist but a traveler?
अगर पहले से start करें, so my dad was a BSNL employee. So he used to travel a lot. He used to get a LTA where like people get every alternate year a tour with their family. So from there my journey begins. So from there it started, and afterwards when I actively pursuing travel from my last 10-15 years when I started working with my own money obviously, and so things are much more different. What I found that obviously each and every trip not only give you relaxation compared to like normal travel, we go and visit 2 to 3 days, come back very tired and not having some good memories also. But I started enjoying each and every location. I stayed very remote places. I never stay into the cities. I avoid cities wherever possible, and then outskirt with local people, homestay, their food, and obviously the places which are not in the like to-do list in any internet sites available. So I used to explore the other part of the destination.
So before we go into more into depth of this, can we have a short rapid fire where you have to answer in one word without giving much of thought?
Okay.
Good to go?
Yeah.
So solo or group travel?
Group travel.
Planned itinerary or go with the flow planning?
Plan itinerary.
Okay. Souvenirs, yes or no?
Pardon?
Souvenirs.
Yes, of course.
Okay, great. Our most underrated landmark?
Underrated landmark. It's Kutaisi in Georgia.
Okay. Most overrated place?
Paris.
Okay. Wi-Fi or offline?
Pardon?
Wi-Fi or offline? When you're traveling, you prefer?
Offline.
Okay. First country you would revisit tomorrow morning?
Iceland.
One word that describes travel for you?
Pleasure.
Great. One underrated, which will take a continuation of that previous question. Underrated country or place?
Yeah, as I already mentioned, it is Georgia. What I say, like Georgia is such a country which is like mix of European taste and Asian taste. Also, there is a predominant influence of Russian culture. So it's a very unique place, but people don't talk much about that places, and even like many of the people says that because of the geographic location, it might not be safe for traveling, but it is very safe, though it's next to Ukraine. But budget wise also it's a very budget friendly, and also people are very good. Inflation is also very less over there. So though their Indian currency is like one local currency which is called Lari. So 1 lakh is equal to 35 rupees around. So then also like you will get ample of things like all the necessity, all the accommodation, and even local travel. We when we travel to Georgia, we have opted for chauffeur driven car, and you don't believe in INR, it was 2,500 only. which is not believable. So
For
that,
the entire duration? Or?
no, per day it is
Per day.
2,500 including fuel. So that kind of destination that is, and obviously it's have mountain, it's have beaches, it's have modern cities, which is their capital Tbilisi, and then they have like casino place which is called Batumi, and they are also having a cultural come modern city which is Kutaisi. So Kutaisi, one of the city which I found in my entire visited list, is very unique and underrated.
So this place has something for example.
If you want mountain, it is there. If you want historical things, like they have at least 4 to 5 big churches which are pretty old and having historical significance. And also they are having like many dam site. They are also having trekking and trails, and they are having rivers. And they are also having like the city, which is obviously very cute and very like unique in terms of their culture. You get all the Georgian food over there. You get other cuisines like Mediterranean cuisine, even Indian cuisines also. So that is the uniqueness of that place. But it is
Indian food and Indian cuisine has reached every corner.
everywhere, every nook and corner of every big cities. Even in now, if you say that like tier 2 kind of foreign cities also, it is present.
Yes.
And actually, because of the spices, local people of Georgia, they also like spices very much. They are not that much. They are not using that much hard spices, but they also use lots of spices. That's why they like Indian kebabs, Indian shawarma kind of dishes very well. So every alternate store is like shawarma corner over there.
So you spoke that there are certain things like budget हो गया, फिर safety हो गया, फिर travel का हो गया कि कैसे वहाँ पे travel है. So based on that, what are the top 5 or 6 parameters which you see before choosing your next destination?
First of all, it's a bucket list. I'm mentioning, or I'm giving example about Georgia. Georgia तो बहुत budget friendly हो गया, but my last trip was in Iceland. That is not at all budget friendly, but it is in the bucket list. So based on the criteria, I finalized exactly which location at what point of time in the year, because that is also very important.
Absolutely.
I will give little more details about this. Like हम लोग जब Iceland plan किए थे, it is summer. समर में कभी आपका वो जो नॉर्दर्न लाइट्स होता है, जिसके लिए आइसलैंड जाना जाता है, वो दिखता ही नहीं है.
Okay.
But I like June, July, August is the summer time over there. But I preferred, or I planned for August. August में क्या होता है? August is a transition time where summer is just going away and winter is coming.
Yes.
So there is a little chance to see northern light, and fortunately we have seen it the very last day. तो वैसे करके whenever you understand the places and you know what need to be done over there. Lots of people like to visit Switzerland during winter. But frankly speaking, in winter, you will get only one color, that is white. But आप उसको summer में करते हो, you get everything. Every tree is blooming, all fields are green, and everywhere it is sunlight and sun shining like anything, and all the colors are too vibrant. So that is the personal choice, and based on what you are going to see, first you have to choose the bucket list country, and then you have to start for the first thing is the visa and the ticket booking. Because what we found in my previous experience also, when we have done a group tour or even with the family, until unless you book the ticket, it is not going to happen.
Correct.
It is always open. Okay, something will come in between. Someone will say, no, not this week, next week. Please do it for another, like, just postpone it for another 5-6 days. So that is the challenge. So first you have to do the booking, and
Absolutely
then apply for the visa.
Yes.
And after that, we have to check thoroughly that what kind of location, because as I'm mentioning that there are many type of destination. Like even if in, let's say Paris, you have Eiffel Tower. Everyone knows Eiffel Tower, but there are at least 15 to 20 museums are there. If someone is very much attracted to the historical destination, they should visit that. So there are places called catacomb where you will find like skeletons walls built upon during World War II. So that is a very unique location and nobody talks about that. But if you really want to visit those places, so you have to prioritize those places. And then based on that, you have to arrange your stay and planning how you were going to travel, like Many of the big cities, you get public conveyance like metro, train, tram, etc. But whereas like places like Georgia, where you have to have your own vehicle. Same for Iceland. Even in India also, there are places where you can go by public transport. But like many places, especially like Ladakh, you have to your private vehicle. So that kind of planning you have to do. And then next is what kind of food, medicine you are going to take with you, because that is also very important. Many a times I have seen that my friend, they are not well when like first 2 to 3 days whenever they are going to new locations. So proper medications and also knowledge about that country, side by side, few local terms which they use and few local etiquette wherever you are going. I think these are the sufficient to start your trip or start planning your trip. And obviously, if you're going for a foreign destination, a travel insurance is very important.
So you talk about food. So one of the places where you had the best meal, and any mishap which happened, like you ate something and then you realize later, oh, this should not.
So I was in Lisbon, and there is a dish called fish patty. Okay. Which is, let's say, fish cutlet kind of thing. So with the Indian perspective, we thought it will be a fillet of fish and fried on a breadcrumb or something else. But when we ordered that, and we found it out that it's actually fish, but it is uncooked. And also it mashed with cod liver oil. So that is made of cod liver fish, and it is totally raw. The outer part is only fried, but inside is totally raw. So that was a miserable experience. But obviously that is a local delicacy. So I have to try, and I have tried it, though I am not able to finish the entire thing.
Strange, but memorable one.
Yeah.
So after all these, like so many trips, what is the most important hack that you think you should share with the listeners?
So hack is, I have already described about the how to plan the trip, but packing is also very important in terms of preparing for a trip. So what I suggest, or what I have done in my previous few trips, is that I have a Ziploc bags. So whenever you are going for a winter spaces, it is complaint for everyone that okay, one jacket takes the almost half of the suitcase place. But if you Ziploc it and you vacuum it, believe me, like it will come in a simple. It is a simple sheet of jacket. So you can have at least 4 or 5 jackets in the same place, rather than carrying only one jacket and complaining that I don't have place in my suitcase.
And talking of this, I think traveling is not just about going to a new place and food and the cultural thing. It's more about the people. People, how are they? How are they different from us and that? So any interesting stories about people that you would like to share?
So when I visited Ladakh, it's a very remote place, So there is no local conveyance, no buses running around. So, and there are like every 50, 100 kilometers, there are army bases. So whenever you passed by there, like there are lots of tourists are coming with private vehicle. So there are requirements under the army bases also, that people go from here to there. And if there is no connection available internally, they come out and they ask help from us to go to some other places if you are going towards that. So during my Ladakh visit, I have encountered almost 3-4 such kind of interaction with some army people. And then I came to know, like, it is not about only giving their everything towards country. -30, -40, 2 to 3 months in a row. It's a very challenging job. We very less know about Himalayan leopard, which is present in Ladakh only. So people doesn't talk about that because it's a very rare. They said that if you are here, if you are able to see a Himalayan cat, that will be the one of the life's biggest wildlife exposure you will get. So 2 to 3 guys told us like that, and fortunately not on that trip, but when I was in McLeod in a winter time, I encountered that species, and it's really good. So those kind of inputs you will get from locals, or like whoever stays over there, they can give you some unique or some extraordinary things what that place contains. So that is the experience I want to share. And also there are many when I visited Athens. So I got an lady who came across and who understood that we are from India, and she started explaining how Indian culture is they used to say that Alexander travels to India. So she mentioned that what are the things in Indian culture came from them. And obviously, Greek culture is also pretty old. They are also having
Yeah.
multiple number of gods and things. So they also resemble themselves with Indians a lot. And obviously, culture-wise, we are also very enriched, and they are also very enriched. So that is the acceptance I found interacting with a stranger. In Iceland, there is no tips culture. So whenever you have food in experience, after having food, we Indians always give tips. But in Iceland, tipping is not looked at very glorified manner. They get offended because they found it is their duty to serve a customer. It is not for money or not for additional.
So, my personal favorite question now. So, you spoke about Iceland. So, how was Iceland and how did you make that trip happen?
Iceland, the land of fire and ice. So it's otherworldly. In a single word, I can say that. Because country-wise, it's very small. But you get like at least 10-20 unique terrain which is not available anywhere else in the world. Because of it's a volcanically active region, you will get terrain like fully black covered with lava. Then same lava field covered with moss, it's fully green. And then grasses coming out and suddenly rivers falling, and there are backdrop of green mountains, and then again some trails. Then there are caves, there are glaciers meeting ocean, Diamond Beach, you must have been heard about that. So that kind of like different terrain in a hardly, it's a 2000-kilometer drive, outer Iceland drive. So this 2000-kilometer we have experienced 15 unique terrain. So that is the beauty of Iceland. And obviously, it's a costly places to visit. So you have to plan at least 6 to 7 months before. Also including approval of leaves internally, that is also very important. And also then go for visa procedures and everything. And all bookings, you don't believe, I have booked my entire accommodation at least 7 to 8 months before. It's so like the options, good options, budget options are so rare. So even if you miss one deal, means your budget can shoot up by 10 to 15,000 rupees. And also there is one, like only option is a self-driven car. So you have to book your rental cars also at least 4 to 5 months before. Otherwise you will not get suitable car or at suitable rate. So that is the like bad part of Iceland, where it can make a big hole in your budget. But otherwise, if you plan properly, you can get me and my wife traveled recently, and we incurred hardly 5.5 lakh rupees, including everything. So obviously we have shared our we and another couple were together. So that is the thing. And then comes to the food part. As I mentioned, being a costly places, we have planned to carry some basic ingredients like rice, lentils, other ready to cook food from here, and we have opted for cooking facilities along with the accommodation. So that brings down the cost drastically. And then we have never stayed in a cities, like big cities. We always preferred outskirt villages and homestays. So location wise, those are very, very into the nature rather than just beside a road or beside a busy station, bus station kind of thing, or busy market. So you get entire calmness in the nature. You can enjoy the nature. And then always you travel, you're starting your day outside of the city, so that traveling throughout the traffic is not there. So that kind of benefit you can get. And then obviously, like Iceland, during summer, the daytime is more than 16 to 17 hours.
Yes.
So likewise, you can plan your trip, like you can have a lately approach. because in winter they have hardly 4 to 5 hours of sunlight, but in summer you get that much of time. So we used to start our day little bit late, like let's say 9:30, and we used to plan, or we have to like end the day around 10:30. Then also the sunlight was there. So that is the adaptation what we have did based on the sunlight availability for Iceland. So these are the few tips which really helped us in Iceland to plan it in a good way, and we have stayed over there for 12 days, and we have covered the entire outer ring road of Iceland. Apart from the major cities, we have ventured almost 16 to 17 of roads places where like normal vehicle can't go, four-wheel drive vehicle will can also reach.
So after all these places, I'm sure you are the go-to person for so many people who know you and people around you. But who is your, like, how do you research? How you plan your, like...
I will give my entire credit to my wife, because she is also, thankfully, she is also same frequency person like me. So the maximum of the research is done by her, and then we decide with the final option. But she is like now pro for all this thing, and she is also having her own travel blogs and everything. Banjara Life is her like travel handle. So they are. She always explore, or she also get many feedbacks from others also, that if you're going to that place, please cover this remote location for us, because you explored places much better compared to others. So those kind of feedbacks also really helps us. Even people or friends who have visited some places where we are planning to go, they used to come to me and say ke like, आप यहाँ पे जा रहे हो ना, यहाँ पे ये एक प्लेस है जो कोई नहीं जाता है. So I will give you example. We have planned for Gangotri, and we have also planned for Gomukh. So it's a like 12-kilometer trek. It's a one-day trek from Gangotri to Gomukh, which almost all trek lovers or person who are willing to explore places, they used to go there. But there is a place called Tapovan, which is another 10 kilometer from Gomukh. So there is a place called Bhujbasha near Gomukh, where you used to stay, acclimatize, and then you have to go to Tapovan. So those places, that has been referred by one of my friend who have visited Gangotri, but because of not planning, not knowing, he didn't able to visit that place. But he suggested, then we explored, and we went there, we enjoyed the places, and we brought lots of memories, lots of coverage and footage, and I have shared with them. So those kind of inputs also sometimes helps. So it is always good to like reach some people who have already visited those places and get input from them. And also the vlogs are available, there are videos are available, you can go through it, and then you decide your plans accordingly. That will definitely help.
So that was such a ride, from places like Gangotri, Ladakh to Scotland Ice and to Iceland. So thank you so much, Sourav, for being here on the show. And to everyone else listening, may your next trip be filled with stories worth telling. This is JCL Podcast signing off. एक बताना, this is good या फिर I should